Hello everyone, my name is Kieran. Welcome to another Manchester United transfer show, and today we're going to be talking all about the latest Daniel James transfer update this morning. This is Thursday morning, if you're watching this a bit later on. The Daniel James news was that Daniel James, I've said his name too many times already, but basically he has been allowed to leave Welsh training to come back to Old Trafford and complete a medical. Now this has been confirmed by a multitude of really good sources, as well as Craig Norwood, who we all know is the king of Manchester United transfer news. As soon as he puts out his tweet about it, that's when you can get excited, and Daniel James seems to be coming to Manchester United. It seems like the signing is going to be completed very soon. So the first one over the line, it seems, for Ole Gunnar Soslkjaer. And Daniel James, this is really a signing that we've seen coming. We saw a lot of reports in the last few weeks saying that Daniel James was going to be coming and saying the fee was agreed. But to be honest with you, I wasn't going to believe that until we saw the proper sources and people like Craig Norwood tweet out. And usually I now only really accept that Man United transfers are going to happen when I see them holding up the red shirt. Hopefully we do get to see Daniel James holding up that red shirt very soon indeed. Welcome to Eddie Million. Thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. He says, well, that's great. Are you having him now? Yeah. Well, I think so. I think we are going to get Daniel James. I think the signing as well, the reports, is that it's going to be worth £18 million, which is including the £3 million plus add-ons for other things in his contract. But the transfer fee itself is £15 million. So again, in this market, I don't think you can really be too unhappy with that. Obviously, there's going to be some United fans saying he's not really the quality of player we should be bringing in. But to those people, I say, look at our transfer policy in the last kind of 3 or 4 years. We've been trying to sign those Galactica players, Angel Di Maria, Radamel Falcao, these sort of quality of players, and they haven't been coming off at Manchester United. So for me, I think it's a step in the right direction, looking at bringing in some more young players who are going to be hungrier, who are going to really want to improve themselves and have a bright future ahead of them. And I think within a squad, you need a good mixture of senior pros and kind of youngsters who are hungry to learn from them. So hopefully with the addition of Daniel James, we do start to get that balance, and hopefully we're seeing a turning of the corner with the Manchester United transfer, the transfer kind of way forward, if you know what I mean, the transfer plan. Welcome to Dazza, and thank you very much for joining me. I always appreciate it. He says, hey mate, I doubt we'll get a lot of people because everyone's at school. Never been happy with James because of his stats in the Championship. Well, I mean, look, I think that ultimately, obviously, watching Middlesbrough, you'll know a lot more about Daniel James, and you would have watched a lot more about that, a lot more of Daniel James than I would have had, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, really all I've seen of Daniel James is those, highlights compilations, but I've heard good things from him, and what I've seen is good as well. And yes, obviously, the Championship is not as good as the Premier League. There's definitely a level. It's a level above the Premier League. So it's always going to be a risk to bring in someone like Daniel James. But I think there's a misconception among some United fans that he's going to slot right into our team. He's not going to slot in right into our team. He's not. I guarantee you, he will not be starting the first game of the season. He is someone who's going to be in and around the squad, someone who will be using probably with substitute appearances and things like that. I don't think we're going to see Daniel James starting every week. I think that would be a bit worrying if we saw Daniel James, start every game, unless he was proven to be good enough. But I feel like Solskjaer's bringing in Daniel James. He's going to feed him into the squad in pre-season, get him used to everything, and then throughout the season he'll be given appearances, maybe in the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, things like this, and he'll just get a bit more confidence and hopefully progress as the season goes on. And then in the next 2 or 3 seasons, we'll see a real player on our hands. And hopefully he has a similar effect to someone like Robertson at Liverpool, who came from Hull. You got to realise Hull were relegated from the Premier League. Robertson was taken from Hull. Liverpool took Robertson, and look where he is now, Champions League winner. Got to 2 Champions League finals in 2 seasons. Nearly won the Premier League. I'm really hoping that Daniel James can have that same effect. Who knows, but I'm really rooting for him and hoping he does well. Welcome to Angelino, Football Fan 148 and TTX. Thanks for joining, guys. Really appreciate it. Of course, over here in England, it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so very much earlier than I'd usually do these streams, but I thought I'd want to give my thoughts on everything that was going on. So thank you for joining me if you do join me on live on the stream, and if you join me on a video as well, please do leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Really eager to hear what you think about the Daniel James news. Angelino says every top team in any team sport has a quality in their depth, and I think this might add to that depth. Well, exactly, Angelino, that was just the point I was making. I think ultimately every single squad needs to have a mixture of seasoned pros and young players. And you need to have that in a squad, and depth is key. I mean, if you look at Man City, they won the league. Yes, it was close, but they won the league. And if you look at their squad depth, it's unbelievable. Most of the players on Man City's bench would get into the starting 11 of any of the top 6 teams, and probably most of the teams in Europe. So that's what you need. You need squad depth, because there'll be games in the season where you need to rotate players, and you need players to come in and do a job. And Daniel James, being the young player, is hopefully, I hope he is, going to be really hungry to succeed, because he's got a potentially really long and prosperous career ahead of him. So if he wants to fulfill that, he needs to get down and dirty and work really hard, and I'm sure that is what he'll want to do. Full Fan 148 says we signed Michael Hector from Reading and he's never played for Chelsea, so why we bought him I don't know. Well, I'm not sure about Michael Hector. I don't think I've really watched him, but good luck with that signing. TTX, welcome my way, says good evening. Daniel James is a good low-key signing. Look at Robertson from Hull and Dele Alli from MK Dons. Yep, Dele Alli, another great example. TTX, obviously I highlighted Robertson. Dele Alli came from MK Dons, turned out to be a brilliant signing for Spurs. So as I say, I hope Daniel James can be very similar to that. But of course, I'm not expecting massive things from him, straight away. He's only 22 years old. He's probably not going to start every game for Manchester United as soon as he touched down at Old Trafford. He's not that kind of player. So I'm hoping that he can come into the squad, bed into the squad, and just work hard, and hopefully with the appearances that he's given next season, he can really start to develop his game and learn from other pros around him, and hopefully he can really be an integral part of the squad. Welcome, by the way, Emmanuel. Thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. He says, can't wait for DJ to wear that shirt. Such players always do play for the badge. It's always about the team first. Couldn't agree more, mate. And I think the fact he's not one of those Galactico signings, I feel like it's gonna mean that he's gonna be more hungry. He's gonna be hungry because, as I said before, he's got a potential long career ahead of him, and he potentially could have 3, 4, 5 years at Manchester United to really progress himself. And if he uses that wisely, if he really gets his head down, works hard for the team, he could have a brilliant career ahead of him. So hopefully he does realise that potential at Manchester United. And if he does, hopefully he stays at United for the rest of his career. But we'll see what happens with him. I'm not expecting huge things from him straight away, but I'm hoping that he can have a really prosperous career. But yeah, Dazza says Daniel James has 4 goals and 7 assists in 33 championship appearances for Swansea. However, he can put the ball in the penalty area and create chances, unlike useless Sanchez. Well, look, yeah, I think ultimately Daniel James, yeah, his stats might not be, amazing stats. It's not like he scored 30 goals and, got 20 assists or whatever, but I think he's not going to be a player that we're expecting to score goals straight away. As I said, he's going to be someone who's going to be a squad player and hopefully a future first team player. Someone that in the future is going to help us to succeed. And as I said, I'm not expecting massive things from him straight away. But, I'm hoping that he can, bed into the squad in pre-season and just get some run-outs during the season and learn about what it's like to be a Manchester United player and just give his all from the team. And really, if he does that, then I'm happy. Because, to be honest with you, we've only paid £15 million for him. So, in this market, that's absolute peanuts. It's absolute peanuts. So, it's not too much. I don't think there's too much pressure on him to perform straight away, but I really do hope he can have a great career at United. Welcome to Jade Cohen's. Welcome to stream, Jade. Thanks for joining. She says, I think it's a she. It says, "Are you Ed Sheeran's cousin?" I wish I was Ed Sheeran's cousin because I'd be absolutely loaded. But I'm not. I'm not Ed Sheeran's cousin. I can see why. I can see why you're thinking. But no, unfortunately, I'm not. As I said, I wish I was because I'd probably be absolutely stacked. And I'd probably have a load of followers on Twitter. Because if I was Ed Sheeran's cousin, I'd absolutely lap that up for followers. Don't you worry about that. So, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm not Ed Sheeran's cousin. But thanks for joining anyway. Anthony says he's going to help out a lot when we've got Europa on Thursdays and Premier League on the weekends. That's a very good point, actually. To see Daniel James go from Swansea to potentially playing in a European competition, I think that potentially could have been a big draw for him, really. So, yeah, I think he definitely will help us out in terms of, rotating the squad and things like that. And as I said, he has a lot of things which he could give to the team. So I'm looking forward to it. TTX is our squad depth for wingers are limited. We saw problems from that last season and also some competition for places. Well, that's a good point as well. A lot of you guys making good points, as you guys always do. But yeah, competition, having competition for places is definitely something that's going to make people more hungry. And I think if we look at last season, especially towards the end of last season and in the Mourinho era as well, the players didn't look like they really wanted it. They looked like towards the end of the season as well, they were strolling about the pitch. After that, PSG game, they didn't look arsed at all. I'm sorry, they didn't look arsed. So to put in a bit more competition might just give some of them a kick up the backside that they need. But yeah, I think Daniel James will provide a lot of competition. Hopefully, it'll give Soslkjaer some really positive decisions to make in terms of looking at his wing options and trying to see who's going to be the best fit. Jade, you still look like a celebrity. I wish. I absolutely wish, but I'm not. I've got 633 subscribers, which is good enough for me. Welcome to Football Crew Show as well. Thanks for joining. Here's hi mate, just chilling and playing PS3 FIFA 10 while watching a transfer talk. Will we be watching England versus Holland tonight? Yes, of course I'll be watching it, guys. Of course I'll be watching it. England are in the semi-final of another major tournament. Kind of a major tournament, but you know what? It counts. Let's say it counts. If England win the Nations League, we're going to count it as a trophy. But yeah, I'm going to be watching it, and it's going to be very, very interesting, obviously, to see Matthijs de Ligt play alongside Virgil van Dijk. What a proposition that's going to be. And also to see England, because I actually enjoy watching England now. After that World Cup and all the positive vibes around England, I really do enjoy watching England. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good game of football. And I mean, to be fair, if there's any game of football, I'm not sure if you guys watched the Portugal game, but Cristiano Ronaldo, he is the GOAT, and you actually can't tell me he's not. I was in the Lionel Messi camp for a while, but as soon as he bottled it against Liverpool, that was it. I was gone. You cannot be the greatest of all time and bottle it that hard so many times. Ronaldo is the GOAT. Hat-trick in a semi-final. What more can you ask for? But yeah, Jade says hopefully he can be the Welsh Ji-sung Park. Tell you what, they are big boots to fill, because Ji-sung Park, what a hell of a player he was. I didn't get to see too much of him when I was watching United, but when I saw him, he worked so hard for the team. And I think you can see now how much that means to the fans. If you're a player that gets your head down and works for the team, you could become a legend at this club. So players need to look at examples of people like Ji-sung Park, and you can become a legend if you work for the club and play for the badge, work hard for the team. It's there for you, and it's there for Daniel James as well. TTX says hopefully this is Ollie's way and try and put pressure on Lingard to perform. Yeah, I hope so, mate. As I said, going back to the point that you made about competition as well, TTX. Yeah, I think definitely is. Putting pressure on players, saying, you know what, mate, we're going to bring somebody else in. And if it does get the best out of Lingard, and hopefully Lingard can get the best out of Daniel James, and Daniel James can get the best out of Martial. Hopefully we see that sort of relationship happening at Old Trafford. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping can happen with competition. But we'll wait and see, of course, what happens. I'm just really, really excited to see him in a Man United shirt, and also to see us do some transfer business. I saw a lot of people on social media getting a bit worried that we hadn't done any transfer business so far this season, but I'm really, really happy to see that it looks like we're going to get a signing over the line anyway. Emmanuel says most of James' videos clearly shows he would have had a better stat provided Swansea have better finishers. He tends to create loads of chances, but his strikers somehow seem to fail him. Well, of course, that is definitely the problem with being a modern day winger, is that you create so many chances for your teammates, but you're not going to get the assist unless they finish them. So yeah, as you said, Daniel James, really we should be looking at how many chances he's created, because you would hope that the Man United strikers that are being paid hundreds of £1,000s a week can put the ball in more readily than the Swansea strikers, but to be honest with you, you never know in this modern day. But I think, yeah, Daniel James, if he can create loads of chances when he's in the team, he's got absolutely electric pace in some of the videos we've seen, unbelievable stuff. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. But, yeah, I think you can't really look at stats too much. I think stats, they do show you a bit about what the player's like, but they don't tell the full story. So I'm still looking forward to it. So, very, very good point. Well made by Emmanuel. Welcome to Football Fan Fever, by the way. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. Make sure you check out his channel, as well as Daz's channel and the Football Crew show as well. Make sure you check them all out. I'm sure they would really appreciate it. I am off sixth form. I'm currently doing exams. I've got 3 exams left for A-levels. So obviously after this stream, I'll probably be getting back to the grind, revising, things like that. But yeah, I had a bit of time off, and I saw this news came in, and I thought, you know what, I want to give my opinion on it, and also see your guys' opinion on it, because you guys are the ones that matters. So yeah, I just wanted to give my opinion on it. TTX says Portugal played awful, but CR7 rescues the team time again. Yet Messi has done nothing of notice for Argentina. Well, exactly. I mean, I saw a tweet yesterday which summed it up perfectly, which that Messi versus Ronaldo at international level is not a debate. It's not a debate. Ronaldo's won the Euros. He's won a tournament for his team. Ronaldo almost carries his team on his back. And yes, you could say at the World Cup, Messi kind of started to carry his team, but he hasn't carried his team to glory. Ronaldo seems to always do it in the big occasion and carries his team to glory. And if you can't do that as a player, are you really the greatest? I think Messi is definitely up there, probably in the top 2. I think it is Messi and Ronaldo in that top 2. But you can't take anything away from Ronaldo. He is the pinnacle of what it means to be a big game player. That was his 53rd hat-trick in his career. 53 hat-tricks. That means he scored like 159 goals alone from hat-tricks. That is mental. That is a mental stat. I'm sorry. Absolutely mental. But yeah, we've talked a bit about Daniel James, of course. That is the main transfer rumour of today. A few more transfer rumours. Bruno Fernandes, potentially, of Sporting Lisbon, coming to Manchester United. Also, the big story, which I was wanting to do a video on De Ligt, but of course I was quite busy with revising and things like that. But to give my opinion on De Ligt, well, just pay him anything, honestly. Get the checkbook out, Ed Woodward. Pay him anything to bring him to Old Trafford. He should be the poster boy of our rebuild. Matthias de Ligt is everything that you want in a young player. And the quality he's got right now, what is he, only 19 years old? He's the captain of a team, captained them to the semi-finals of the Champions League, was desperately unlucky not to get to the final, let's not forget. So Matthias de Ligt, for me, just get the checkbook out. Put any amount of zeros you want on the end of that checkbook. We need to sign him because he, as I said, is the pinnacle and the embodiment of what our transfer strategy should be. We should bring in Matthias de Ligt, and I would love to see him, and hopefully we can see de Ligt alongside someone like a Victor Lindelof. Initially, I did think that usually at centre-back partnerships, you want to see kind of contrasting styles. So, for example, Ferdinand and Vidic. We had Ferdinand, who's much more of the ball player, Vidic, who was kind of the enforcer, the scary Yap Stam character, if you like, at the back. But I think, obviously, in defence, you do need that kind of, contrast of styles to deal with a multitude of different tasks. But I think Lindelof and De Ligt would be an absolute match made in heaven. Also, we've still got Eric Bailly in there as well. Potentially De Ligt and Eric Bailly, or Lindelof and Bailly, or something like that. But to have those three centre-backs as our options would be fantastic as well. Also, I think we should be looking at a new full-back to replace Ashley Young. I think, obviously, Dalot is someone who I love to see progress in a Man United shirt and, get much, much better, because I think Dalot as well has a really, really good career ahead of him. So I'm looking forward to seeing whether Dalot gets much more game time next season. But I'd love to see a back four minimum of Luke Shaw, Matthijs de Ligt, Victor Lindelof and Diogo Dalot. What a brilliant back four that would be. And it would be a back four for the future as well. That could potentially be our back four for the next 5, 6, 7 seasons. So it's all up in smoke at the moment. It's all hope. And I'm just praying that we can get this Matthijs de Ligt deal over the line. Of course, it doesn't seem like de Ligt is going to want to sign for Manchester United or talk about anything to do with transfers until the end of the Nations League, which, depending on what happens tonight, could be tonight. So you never know. But of course, if the Netherlands do make it to the final, he'll want to play in that final and then have a bit of a holiday as well. So this transfer saga could go on for quite a while. But as United fans, we are going to be so much used to these long transfer sagas. So strap yourself in, because it's going to be a bumpy ride along the way. Hopefully, we do get our man at the end. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Really appreciate the support there, buddy. And Football Crucio says, Ronaldo will always be the best player in the world for me. He always steps up to the plate and won every club major trophy and international trophy with Portugal. You can't argue with that, mate. You really cannot argue with that. And I think he will be the greatest player of all time in my lifetime. I don't think we'll see a better player than Cristiano Ronaldo or even Lionel Messi. But you know what? It could surprise me. Maybe Daniel James could be the next Ronaldo. I mean, I'm kind of joking there. I'm saying that, I'm saying that with a bit of tongue in cheek. But you know what I mean? It'd be brilliant to see him get anywhere near that sort of level. TTX says, I can't go into next season knowing Ashley Young's going to do his Cruyff turns and Jones making faces again. We need a centre-back. Totally agree, mate. I mean, that would be awful to see Ashley Young as captain of Manchester United. Just epitomises kind of the problems that we have at Man United at the moment. And Ashley, if you are watching, you've been a great servant to the club, but I think there are some young players who deserve a chance. And I think, he's probably run his race, in my opinion. But, Solskjaer seems to trust him, and maybe Ashley Young next season will prove us wrong. I doubt it, but he might be able to prove us wrong. Football Fan 148 says, Ronaldo is the best player in the world right now, greatest of all time. Can't disagree with you, mate. Can't disagree with you at all. So yeah, obviously, United transfer rumours are going to go on and on and on. And hopefully I'll be able to bring you these sort of transfer streams again whenever there's any sort of Manchester United news. I will also be going live when Daniel James has signed for Manchester United and it's confirmed and everything's confirmed. And he's come out with his comments as they usually do. And he's done an interview and things like that. I'll also do a little video about that. But until then, and until any other transfer news comes, I want to thank you all for watching me on this sunny afternoon in England. And of course, if you guys want to interact with me on Twitter, my Twitter link's in the description down below. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram as well, Red Devil Weekly on there, so make sure you do follow me on Instagram. But guys, that's going to be the end of the stream. Thank you so much to all of you that have been watching this afternoon. Really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're on the road to 640 subscribers. So anything you guys can do to help us out with that would be greatly appreciated. But I've been Kieran. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And let's hope for more transfer news like this in the future, hopefully concerning a certain young Dutchman. We'll wait and see what happens, but until then, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.